Hey, welcome back to what are we again? Oh yeah, the Ambassadors of Gaming, phone a friend news. You're talking with my brother. I am Ambassador Chris,
I'm Ambassador Michael.
and this is going to be video one of three. We're going to have these in a playlist. We're talking about what all went down with E3, all the news we got, but to keep it away from being all clustered, trying to sift through the video, trying to find whatever we're talking about, we're just going to split it up into three different videos. We're going to have it for third party, Sony, and Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this one right here is for third party. So, Mr. Michael.
Okay. I'm gonna go in the order they came out. So EA, Bethesda, Ubisoft, and then we're not really gonna probably talk about much of the stuff. It's just kind of be like, here's all the stuff. So I'm gonna get into
There's
it.
not really much to talk about it. A lot of
No,
stuff was just revealed and given a release date and stuff.
exactly, or more shit we've already seen. So we're gonna
Hmm.
start off with EA. EA showed off Titanfall 2. Showed
Yes.
showed the single player campaign. It is confirmed. Free DLC maps, always. That's
Respect.
pretty ballsy. Good for them.
It's not
Battlefield 1.
ballsy. It's just kind.
Eh,
Everyone is all video games are. I mean, no offense to them. I mean, some video games gouge customers more than
mhm,
others, but you expect a map pack or maps to be
like a thing.
to be a
It's standard.
chart. Yeah, it's nothing that surprises you. So just to see a game that's willing to release maybe a few maps that are free. I haven't seen that since Makin Day.
Halo
From
5.
hmm?
Halo 5.
What
Awesome.
about
Everything free.
oh
Maps free.
I barely even play Halo
Just
5,
saying.
so that's why. But Call of Duty World at War, there was a map called Macon, and it took place at night, and they made a daytime version of the map where like
Mm.
the tide was out, and it was just called Macon Day, and they made that free. But enough of that. So Titanfall 2, yay. Single player campaign, yay.
Free DLC, yay. Battlefield
Yeah.
1 got a gameplay trailer. Looks cool. We already saw the regular trailer. Uh,
Yeah.
Looks interesting. It's World War One. Mass Effect Andromeda was shown, but very shortly, very smallly. There wasn't much, just a little bit of story details. So
But I know
that
people that there's been a lot of hype for that game too. So
yeah, it's supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out in the fall. Then it got pushed back to March. Probably still not going to come out in March, but we'll see. Anyways, then they went on to talk about Star Wars. So as of right now, EA has one, two, three, four, five Star Wars games in the works. That's a lot of
in
fucking
the
Star
works
Wars.
at the
Yeah, oh
one
yeah.
time.
They have Visceral's game, Motive's game, Bioware's game, Respawn's game, and Dice. So Dice, most likely Battlefront 2. Visceral, I believe, is the one that's the Star Wars RPG, written by Amy Hennig, the lady that wrote Uncharted. And then I'm unsure what the other three are. I haven't looked too deeply into them, but there's three more Star Wars games coming. After that, they showed FIFA because they own all the sports that EA does their sports shit. They revealed that there's this new story mode for FIFA with a character, not a build your own character. It's a set character and a set story. The story mode will not be on the 360 and PS3 versions. Not a surprise. More sports games were shown after that. Madden, NHL, the sports games.
But sports games, I don't know. They're just not very. At least they're just. I mean, I know Call of Duty and Halo are repetitive, but these games are like even more repetitive.
Oh
Like
yeah,
there's like all they are like I think like updated team rosters, maybe a few extra settings and options.
it's one of those things where it's like Call of Duty 2 where they change gameplay mechanics. So basically, if you get a Madden or a FIFA or NHL that you like, you just should play that game forever, not play any of the other ones because you're not gonna probably like any of the way the other ones plays. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Um, they unveiled a new program called EA Originals, which is their attempt to publish indie games. So they're going to work with
Hmm.
indie developers to help them publish their games. They showed a new game called Fee. In that conference, in that part they talked about Yarny or Unravel. Unravel 2 was confirmed a little bit ago. I don't know if anybody cares. I like Unravel. It was sweet.
Unraveled is very calming.
and it's super gorgeous. It's one of the prettiest games I've ever played for
Well,
sure.
you don't really need all that much processing power to play it,
No,
so it's easy to delegate all those extra tasks and calculations to making just some beautiful scenery. And
exactly.
it is really good looking scenery.
It's ridiculous. So then we move on to Bethesda. Bethesda showed Dishonored 2. They showed a gameplay trailer of it. It looks good. Looks better than the original. The original I thought was pretty good. There's a
Oh, excuse me.
you're excused. They showed a trailer, a regular trailer, not a gameplay trailer. That was all right. They revealed the collector's edition, which comes with Corvo's mask, which is really cool. I like his mask. I don't think I want to pay $250 for it, but it's cool.
Hmm.
They re-revealed Prey, because I guess there was a Prey, and then Prey 2 got announced, canned, and then they never talked about it again. So they are rebooting it, I guess. It looks super cool, super Dead Space kind of like, but it has this. I don't know. It starts off with this guy doing a Groundhog's Day thing, and each day he looks at his eyes, and his eyes are getting more and more bloodshot until his eyes are just completely red. And then it just goes in this whole montage of just shit is going crazy, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Then they talked about Fallout 4 and Fallout Shelter. Fallout Shelter is coming to PC with an update for the game too. Fallout Shelter is the mobile game. They showed off some Fallout 4 DLC, 3 new DLC. One coming out next week, or 2 weeks from now. One in July, and the third one is in August. The first two are very similar to the other ones, where they're just kind of like mini add-ons. They're not really level packs or anything like that.
I know what you mean.
The third one does look like a level map pack, so that looks cool. But they didn't really say anything else. Quake Champions got announced, PC only. Looks like it's multiplayer only. They just showed a trailer for it, and that was it. It looks cool. I'm not gonna play it because I don't have a PC, but it looks cool. Then they announced Skyrim Remastered, which motherfuckers have been waiting a long time for. They want that shit. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's called the Special Edition, though. It's not Skyrim Remastered. It's Skyrim Special Edition.
Mm.
And then they showed off how it's upgraded, and the graphics look really great. The play is probably exactly the same. I mean, I hope I don't fall through the world occasionally. That would be cool. I think I'm asking for
Arkham Knight.
That's just a Bethesda thing. It happens to me all the time in their games. Arkham Origins, I did have that issue. I couldn't actually play the game. My save got to the point where it was corrupted. It saved me in a checkpoint where I was flying, and then I went through the buildings forever.
It saved you in a checkpoint where you would just keep falling.
Oh yeah, it was awful. So I never beat it. From what I understand, the PC version, if you own Skyrim and all the DLC on Steam, you'll get the remaster version for free, which is really cool. PS4 and Xbox One are getting it, and PC on October 28th this year. So pretty soon. They didn't say at the conference, they may have already said, but I don't know if the DLC is included in it or not. I'm assuming it is. It might be, it might not be. I don't know. But I do know that Skyrim's getting the Fallout treatment, the remastered, they're bringing mods in, which is really cool because there's like a ridiculous amount of mods for Skyrim. So that'll be cool. And then they talked about Elder Scrolls Legends, which I still don't really understand. It's a card game. It's Elder Scrolls, like characters from Elder Scrolls, but in a card game. So it's coming out on PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. So looks cool. I mean, it is what it is. Then they talked about Elder Scrolls Online. They have a new update where there's no level gates now. So you can join your friend if he's level 25, 30, whatever, and go boost with him if you want. So I forget when that's coming out. I think it's coming in the fall. It's called Tamriel 1, I believe. Then they talked about Doom. They talked about how Doom was super accessible, successful in reviews and people saying they really love it. Then they talked about the DLC map packs, which look alright, but I haven't really played the map packs. Then they talked about snap map updates, which allows you to just create maps in Doom, and then you can go play other people's maps. So if you want to play Doom, but you already beat the campaign or don't want to play multiplayer, it's kind of like a dumbed down version of Minecraft, but for Doom. It's really cool.
Mm.
They didn't talk about any single player DLC. I don't think there will be any. They also announced that there's a Doom demo now. I'm not sure if it's for this week only, but you can download it and play the first level of Doom, which, if you do that and you don't like it, I'd be surprised, because the very beginning of the game just fucking hooks you in. It's so good. So, good for them. And then, of course, we gotta talk about VR, because VR is everywhere. This is the year of VR. So, Bethesda is bringing Fallout 4 to VR on HTC Vive. It's pretty impressive. There's a Doom level tour in VR. It's not a game, but you can go through the levels and just kind of like in Forge World, you can just kind of float around the maps and look at them and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And then the last thing for Bethesda was in the Quake trailer, there was a computer screen and it listed a whole bunch of games. And in there, it showed the Wolfenstein games, and in Wolfenstein, under Wolfenstein's thing, it said New Colossus with a no release date. They didn't show any Wolfenstein, but that could be the new game. Not seeing it right now, but at least we know it's being worked on. It exists, so that's good. And the last thing here, we have Ubisoft's conference. And I just looked at my timer and I realized I'm really blowing through this. So I'm going to make a complaint real quick about Ubisoft's fucking E3 conference. That shit was too long. Like, god damn it. It was like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It was ridiculous. Like, holy shit. Anyways, so they opened up with Just Dance, which was really weird. It was a bunch of people dancing around in costumes and stuff. Interesting, but weird. It comes out in 2017. On all platforms in October. Or it comes, 2017, all platform. No, October this year. I'm sorry, my notes.
Mike, you need to get it together.
I'm sorry, I have like 800 things here. So this year, in October, it comes out on all available platforms. Next year, it comes out on the NX. More people are fucking talking about the NX than Nintendo is. This is getting out of hand, alright?
They're very hopeful.
Yeah. So then after that was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. They showed a trailer. They confirmed that you can play single player completely by yourself, or you can play the co-op. They showed a gameplay trailer of it. It looks really cool. The wildlands are huge. They're gigantic. It reminds me kind of The Division, but instead of the setting is in, more urban areas than rural area than the urban New York. And then that comes out March 7th, 2017. And then they came out and they talked about South Park. Have you seen the title for the new South Park? It's very South Park, like, it's called The Fractured Butthole. But it's spelled The Fractured B-U-T space W-H-O-L-E. It's very South Park, like, cracks me the fuck up.
So the fractured butt
hole.
Anyways,
so they came out.
You know, the funny thing is that if you take away that connotation, it actually, if you were to eliminate the association with that word, that's actually a cool title.
Yeah, exactly.
Something is fractured, but it's still whole.
Yeah.
Like, but South Park. Excuse my language. I don't usually swear.
I saw it, but it was so funny.
My gosh.
It is a sequel to The Stick of Truth. The premise of it now is, instead of them being characters in like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, now it's superheroes. So the Coon and all this kind of stuff, and it starts out with Cartman talking about his plans for their cinematic universe, and it's basically an exact ripoff of all of Marvel's shit. And so they're like, well, why can't we have movies? And they're like, look, not everybody gets movies, alright guys? Some people get movies, some people don't. Some people get Netflix series. This is just how it goes. And they're like,
that Daredevil series is good.
It's so good, yeah.
That Daredevil series is so good. I have both of his pop figures of him in his black mask and
So
him in
good.
his new red outfit.
Anyway, so they go on and they're like, well, fuck you. We're going to go make our own cinematic universe. We're going to do our own thing. And he goes, all right, have fun. Fuck you, DC. And then they're like, hey, Carmen, isn't Civil War supposed to happen later? And he goes, yeah, Civil War isn't supposed to happen until Phase 3. Fuck me. It's so stupid, but it's so fucking good. It's like it's South Park. It's ridiculous, but it's funny.
I'm not really so much into those shows anymore, but I have to admit, South Park has some really funny moments.
It is.
Some really funny moments.
So
The Civil War is supposed to happen until Phase 3. Damn it!
so they showed the gameplay. The gameplay is a little bit different. Stick of Truth was more turn-based, where this is still turn-based, but it's turn-based and you can move around in like an arena area by square. So you have room to fuck around and that kind of stuff. They made character classes. They only showed 3, but I think there were like 10 or 12 total. And one of them was like a rip-off of The Flash. It was pretty funny. And then I'm unsure if it's if you buy it or only if you pre-order it. They were not very clear. But
I'm still thinking about no. Civil War is not supposed to happen until Phase 3. Damn it! I'm just thinking.
you have to watch the trailer. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, I probably will.
So
Some people
anyway,
get movies, some people get Netflix series.
so if you, I know for sure if you pre-order, you get the Stick of Truth for free on Xbox One and PS4. If you pre-order the Fractured But Whole, because it's a sequel to it, so it'll make sense, when you play it.
That title.
Dude, it's so good. And then it's coming out this year, December 6th. So pretty soon. Which is good. Then they went to talk about The Division. They talked about the Underground expansion, but they didn't show anything really. I mean, they showed a trailer, but it was like a cinematic trailer and it didn't really show anything. It comes out on June 28th for Xbox and PC, August 2nd for PS4. You get 3 exclusive outfits for The Division if you're an Ubisoft Club member, which are a whole bunch of their other games. Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, and then there was another one, I forget what it was. And then they announced Survival, the second expansion. They showed a trailer for it. I'm unsure if it's going to be like a health bar thing, like an actual survival thing, like you're not going to be able to find resources or whatever. They didn't really go into it. They didn't show a release date. They just said coming soon. That was that for The Division. And then they moved on to VR. And Jesus Christ. So they showed Eagle Flight, which was fine. But then they did a live PvP demo of Eagle Flight. So there were 6 people in HTC Vibes sitting there with a controller like this. And just going. It was the goddamn most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It looks
If you
alright.
can find 6 people with an HTC Vive,
Good on
that's
ya.
off to you.
You have very wealthy friends then, probably. Or friends that just like to game really. So they showed that it's alright. It's coming to PSVR and Oculus too. It's not just coming to Vive. And then they showed Star Trek VR, which was the holodeck stuff.
That seems cool from the way you described it to me. All right. If you've ever
If
watched
you're into Star Trek, you'll like it.
If you ever, it's not just about the Star Trek though. It's about the mechanic though, because this is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anything about Star Trek, or even about just a regular normal ship of like commanding a ship, the captain doesn't have the controls. Like there are officers around him to be his eyes and ears. Like one's the navigator, one's at the helm, one's running all their scans, one person's on weapons. Now that's essentially what this is someone's. I assume someone's the captain, and then a lot of your other people that you're playing with are doing the other positions, which I think is really cool, and it could be a really, really cool group dynamic. But something tells me is that would be very hard to pull off.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's fine, but you need to have 4 people to play. It did not look good graphically. It looked pretty bad.
Probably not.
It
This is
looks,
probably more about the functionality.
yeah, it looks kind of like a PS2 game. It's pretty bad. I mean, VR games don't look great. I've never seen a VR game that I was like, holy shit, this looks awesome, graphically, but it looked excessively bad, just graphically. It works. At least it fucking works. And then it was shown on the Vive, like I said, but it also said all major VR systems, possibly PSVR. My thing with it, because Razer just announced their fucking VR headset too, so now PC gamers have Oculus, Razer, and Rift. Surprising thing too, Razer is literally fucking Oculus and Vive because their headset's $400 like the PSVR. So yeah, 600, 400, 600, and Vive's what, 800? I think.
And I'm still saving up for my DX Racer.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So we'll see. I don't know if it's PSVR or not. Then they showed For Honor, which I've seen a lot of people talk about, but I had no idea what the fuck it was. They showed a trailer for it, right? And there was a Viking, a samurai, and a knight fighting each other. And those were to represent that there's 3 factions, 3 different campaigns to run through. So you run through a campaign with the Viking perspective, the samurai's perspective, and the knight's perspective. And then they showed the gameplay trailer through the Vikings campaign. And it looks pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty good for hand-to-hand combat. It looks alright. I don't think I'd play it, but that's just because it's not my kind of game. It looks like a good game. And then it is coming out on February 14th, 2017. So that's good. February and March are getting busy as fuck, alright? Like, we have November for this shit, and then they're like, no, we're going to release like 18 games in February. Like, everybody just
it's gonna be gamers
February.
are gonna cream. They're not gonna know. They're quite literally not gonna know what to do with themselves.
Exactly.
Do I play this game? Do I play this game? Help me! Like,
I already have that problem. I don't need more.
Right.
So after For Honor, they showed Grow Up, which is a sequel to Grow Home. Do you remember that game?
Mm-hmm.
So they showed the trailer for it. It's very similar to the first game. There's one planet. They described it as a one-planet playground. You can throw down plants. You can use the kite like you can before. And from what I understand, the ultimate goal is the moon, to get to the moon from the planet surface. And then it'll be on PC, PS4, Xbox One. And then from what I heard, I didn't look into it, is August or fall. Sometime in there. It's coming out this year, I believe. And then after that, Trials Fusion, or Red Links came out. They had a trailer. It was super, like, 90s looking. And they announced that there's now a love child of Trials Fusion and Blood Dragon together. And it's super weird. But a Trials Fusion doesn't surprise me after the unicorn cat thing. I have no surprises. It was a cool thing though that's out. That came out during the conference. They're like, oh, by the way, it's out now. Have fun. Go play it. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like when they do that. And then Ubisoft did that thing that nobody wanted them to do, but we all knew they were going to do, and it was talk about the Assassin's Creed movie. And I was like, I don't care. No offense. Like,
Why can't the video games just stay games? Why can't I just let my imagination keep that interpretation of the game and not try and force down my throat what the interpretation is and just let each player have their own?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's it. But we won't go far into that. Anything else for third party?
I got 3 more actually, technically. So Watch Dogs 2 got shown again. We already got a trailer for it, but they showed a gameplay trailer for it. They announced the November 15th release date. It's on PS4, Xbox One, PC. PS4 gets the DLC 30 days early. Oh, and guess what? You thought Assassin's Creed was the only movie we were going to make? Huh, fuck you, Watch Dogs movie. Why? I don't know. Who the fuck asked for that? I don't know. But you're getting one. So enjoy.
You need to calm down. Who asked for that? I don't know.
Shit
but you know
is
what?
getting out of hand. Alright. And then they announced the pre-orders for the limited editions.
My eyes are very itchy, Michael. Help me.
I can notice. The pre-orders for the limited edition come with a little RC robot that kind of looks like a mini trash can. Like, you know the stainless steel trash cans that are circular at the top?
Sure.
He looks kind of like that with some buttons and shit put on.
Sounds
I'm
pretty
like,
trashy.
puns. I actually like puns. And then that was that for Watch Dogs. And then
That's
they
garbage.
announced it was pretty
No,
garbage.
did you get it?
I understand the trash pun. So then they announced Steep, and they spent fucking like 25 minutes talking about Steep, which is a game about hang gliding, parasailing, skiing, snowboarding, all in the mountains in Europe. And I'm like, okay, that's
Yay!
fine. I mean, it is what
Aye.
it is. But why do you need to talk about it for 20 fucking minutes? I get it. You go down a mountain, you do challenges. Okay.
Fun stuff.
They showed the trailer, showed the gameplay, talked about how it's 4 sports in one, and that it's coming out in December, and that it's a new IP. So, and then I also wrote my notes. So fucking long, 2 hours, and I am so tired. Need food. Please send help.
You actually wrote that in your notes?
Yes, because I was
You're
fucking
too much.
dying.
You're
I was
too
so
much.
hungry.
Is that all the stuff for
Yeah.
third party?
Yeah. Is that all? Is that all?
All right.
It couldn't
So a
possibly
lot
be
to
anymore.
cover. Like I said, the majority of it was just kind of like reveals and whatnot. But anyway, this is video 1 of 3, so stay in the playlist if you want to check out the other 2. Check us out on the channel every now and then. You might like what you find. I'm Ambassador Chris.
And I'm Ambassador Michael.
And we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully without an itchy eye.
Bye.
Bye.